Hello, it is December 11th, and that makes it day 69. 3 weeks to go. Today I had another appointment with my dietitian, which was nice. I really like her. It is kind of crazy because it does feel like being 25 again and being in a recovery program, and it's kind of like, wait, am I just doing this poorly? Like, that I need to be in recovery, but I certainly have things to talk about, and so maybe it's not that great to dwell on it, and as long as it's helpful, then it doesn't matter if I'm what grade I'd give myself in my recovery. I think anytime you choose recovery and choose to take care of yourself is a good thing. And yeah, it is helpful, and we talked about exposure therapy and eating pastries, and today was my last day of that like intentional week of eating, and it was really nice. It was like having a hard time getting to it and getting to like my pastry time in the morning. Then I decided to go to a bakery not far away and got a really delicious Queen Amande, this like flaky buttery roll thing with sweet and salty, and sat in my car and had my coffee and ate it, and it was just a really nice moment, and I tried to be intentional about sitting and reflecting on it, and I was glad that that's how the week ended, and I didn't have any negative feelings with it. And part of it was just I haven't eaten this pastry very often, so I only kind of came across it later on in my life, so I don't really have any negative associations with it, and I've only heard people like talk positively about it, so there's no trigger in a sense of like I don't remember a time when I binge ate at it or on it, so it's kind of helpful to see that. And it was a sunny day, and it was so tasty, and I talked about with my dietitian, like if it meant that I could be recovered for the rest of my life and not struggle with it, and all I had to do was eat one pastry a day, would I eat one pastry a day? And I don't know, that's kind of that mentality. And she's like, well, don't put the rest of the world and the rest of your life on your shoulders. But I don't know, for whatever reason that does help. Like, yeah, I mean, I would definitely eat a pastry every day if it meant that I could be recovered every day. And maybe we'll have to do other things, and maybe that means I have to eat a pastry and I have to eat 3 meals a day, and I don't have a scale, and I don't run a lot, or whatever. It might be other things that add to it, but that was a nice way of framing it, because it's like a small price to pay, and it's a delightful task. Like, I'd rather eat a pastry than a lot of other things to protect myself from recovery. And it was nice. It was nice that the week ended well. It was helpful to talk about my reaction to my family support and how that felt hard. And so setting up a boundary, and I think a lot of people, anybody who watches this who's been through a disordered recovery, it's hard to teach your family how to talk to you about it and how to offer you support. And I've done some things, but I, obviously hadn't done enough, and to ask them to check in on me, not when I just seem too thin or I'm on the leaner side of my spectrum, but like to check in on me when I'm not, and when I'm not running, and when I'm seeing more quiet, because I'm often doing worse and I'm feeling depressed or more anxious then. And the less they see, the worse I usually am, because I'm hiding more. And that, that is a common thread. So for the rest of the month, these like next 3 weeks, I said I would just really practice on doing a lot of those natural things that like taking away the anxiety of choice. Like, it can be so hard to choose to do what's right for your recovery every day and choose to do what's right for yourself every day. And so making less things a choice. So it's like not making whether I eat a pastry a choice is helpful. It's just I do, and it's not a choice. And whether I eat 3 meals a day isn't a choice. I just do. And whether or not I take time to reflect and do this video, I just do. And so those things have really been helpful to mitigate sometimes the anxiety of analyzing a choice. Yeah.